Well, we made it, and we still do not have the DOJ coming after us. What a disappointment.
I know, it's almost like they don't even see us here. But we're getting there. We're getting there. I think maybe we're popping up a little bit of a red flag in the system. You know they scan everything on the internet.
But in all honesty, it's a real thing. Maybe not the DOJ. Maybe the FBI. Maybe the CIA. Maybe the Mossad.
Oh no, Mossad. They're up to something. See, I was offered online a whole bunch of trips to Little St. James that I turned down, but Mossad might have been behind that one.
They're trying to honeypot you.
They're trying to get me, but they can't get me. I'm not like Stephen Hawking. I don't have a thing for midgets.
Well, I bring up the DOJ because we just see how corrupt the Justice Department is under the Joe Biden administration, and most of heavy bureaucracy is really corrupt. And that's why we need to cut 75% of it. Vivek is calling for that. The corrupt Justice Department is suing the state of Texas for trying to uphold the Constitution, calling this unconstitutional immigration law within the state of Texas. Man, aren't you just sick of what's going on at the border?
Oh, it's crazy. Every single time I look at it, it's almost unbelievable, because how is our country allowing this to happen, and how is it even facilitated?
You say country.
Yeah, loosely.
Yeah, I mean, we're more like a wing of some NGO, or we're more of victims of a debt-based economy, private banking, and just so much just nonsense that destroys our liberties and causes all kinds of nonsense. So we're here to cover it, and we're here today on the 81st episode of BasedCast, chugging right along. It is January 5th, and we are like 300 some days away from the election. Isn't that wild? It seems like 2020 was just a day ago, and we are here. So let's get into the show today. Glad to have you guys here. Well, let's get right into it today. We'll start off quick, getting into Joe Biden is just destroying this country left and right. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely. He doesn't do anything beneficial for us. He killed our oil industry. He killed our economy. He inflated our currency, and now we're just dealing with the ramifications. He set up a time bomb, so to speak, with the amount of traps he's laid into our economy. I feel like we're about to implode any minute now with the amount of immigration, the amount of inflation, and the amount of face that we've lost on the global. I don't know. We've lost so much face to all of our allies and all of our enemies abroad. He's slowly eroding America. Well, maybe not slowly. 3 years, and look where we are now. Inflation, World War.
It's getting ridiculous. His Justice Department is filing lawsuits against the state of Texas regarding unconstitutional SB4 immigration law. So basically, this immigration law just is detaining illegal immigrants, and Joe Biden's going after this. So the lawsuit filed in the U.S. District Court for Western District of Texas. The 22-page lawsuit seeks to preserve its exclusive authority under federal law to regulate the entry and the removal of non-citizens. So trying to just remove these people. The lawsuit says it simply has no right to create immigration laws and arrogate unto itself the power to control the southwest border, at least where Texas is concerned. What do you make of this, Micah?
The federal government supposedly has the obligation to protect our southern border, and they're the ones who deal with intercommerce of countries. But the problem is, when the federal government doesn't do its job, the states then have to. But we're seeing the federal government attack and go after and handcuff Texas so that they can't do anything about the problem that's happening at their southern border. It's part of the reason why we've seen Texas and Florida ship migrants to New York and other different places, because they've been handcuffed and they are not allowed to actually exercise their ability to be a state and protect their own state's sovereignty. I want this to go in the way of Texas so that Texas can actually take care of the border problem themselves and unilaterally stop the immigration coming across their southern border to protect their own union. Um, Different states need to do this as well. New Mexico, Arizona, and California need to reinstate, but the only problem is New Mexico and California are sanctuary states, so they're not going to be able to.
So I think the issue we see with this is the federal government wielding too much power, because the federal government is supposed to supersede the states when it comes to this. And, the federal government's not doing anything. They're letting all these people come over. We try to do something about it. We have, let's see, what Arizona tried to build a crate wall. We talked about this last night on the show. They tried to build a crate wall. Biden sued, took it down. They tried to build razor wire in Texas, sued, took it down. And then there was like some sort of buoy that they tried to build as well, sued, took it down. Now there's this. The federal government does not seem like they're in the interest of the states, and they're not doing their job.
Yeah,
time again.
Yeah, of course, they're not doing their job at all. They're incompetent, and it almost seems like it's a deliberate attack that Joe Biden's administration is doing. It takes me back to the election. I do think this is a ploy to win an election. Have some barrier to entry, make it a little bit tougher, make them get an ID, make them show an ID. That's like the bare minimum that they could do. But no, I'm asking for a lot more than that. I think I would like to go back to land ownership or even you need to become a citizen through.
But they can't cheat if they do this.
That's true.
That's their whole operation. It's what it's all about. It's to push the mail-in ballots and use these corrupt machines. Not going to name any names, but yeah, it's all just one big scam. And I don't know if we ever see any end of this. I mean, I think we're going to see a even larger number coming across this year, because nothing's really happening. I mean, you see the Republicans doing PR photo shoots at the border, Mike Johnson, while they're actively crossing the border. We covered that the other day. And, I mean, we're on the brink of destruction, man. I think it's really to a point where we could be like a Roman Empire falling very soon. And it's a long, like you said, it's a death by 1,000 cuts. And this is just one of the facets that they're using to really just push their globalism. That's what it's all about now.
Yeah, it is death by 1,000 cuts, and you can collapse an empire by overwhelming them. And we've already seen with California. California's allowing them to have their Medicare, Medi-Cal, that they're allowing them access to that without ever paying taxes and ever paying for that insurance. I'm still a resident of technically a resident. I'm still a resident of California, so I still pay that tax. I don't get the actual benefits that they're giving to the illegal immigrants. That's a huge problem that we have, and it's unfair for our citizens to pay for the basically the crimes, because crossing the border is a crime, of other people. We pay for the criminal activity of other people, not just with our illegal immigration, but we can go down the list of all the different criminals that we pay for. The criminals in Israel, the criminals in Ukraine, the criminals in Egypt, where we send $1 billion a year. Strange. The criminals in our White House, the Biden administration. We pay for all of that. The security detail and the house that Hunter Biden has. We pay for that. But what do we see? We see that our government corruption continuously grow. We see the bureaucracy continue to expand. And is there an end in sight? I hope.
I think we live in an opposite world, because people that commit real crimes don't do the time. And then people that are, not even doing any crime, i.e. Donald Trump, don't get gone after. They don't get sought after by the judicial system, and it's ridiculous. And we're here to try to stop it with a great movement of lots of great Americans that can move forward and create discourse that's going to change it. And one man is going to do that. Hopefully, Vivek Ramaswamy. I mean, obviously, he knows he's not going to win the election, but he's really moving the ball forward as far as the Republican side of things outside of the Trump movement. And he's calling for a 75% headcount reduction. Who else recently just did that? Was it Javier Milei in Argentina?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. But let's play this video with Vivek. He goes on the Roseanne Barr show, and let's see what he has to say about cutting out bureaucracy.
Cut 75% of the federal bureaucracy.
Love it.
Mass firing. Not a chisel. Bring the chainsaw.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're talking about super drain the super swamp.
Ultra drain. Yeah,
ultra drain.
I'm just. I'm actually. People don't like it when
You
I say
like that guy in Argentina?
Yeah, I like him a lot. I liked him.
Very
I liked him like even when he first started running. We're gonna get that done here. I mean, it's that model here, and then, I think I'm a libertarian and a nationalist combined.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I think about as my philosophy, and so the administrative agencies are the hybrid that hybrid of state and corporate power. A lot of that's mediated through the administrative state. Shut that down.
Yeah, absolutely.
Then as commander in chief, use our own military. Here's a radical idea.
Uh-oh.